It's Saturday, July 23rd, and it is book/film review week.
Daily we party, each one day a week, chronic whimsy.
Carissa, you already talked about Deathly Hallows Part 2, so I'll have to do something else. But I will say that I also went to the midnight showing, and that it was awesome, obviously. And Nathan, you really should see it as soon as possible. But I'm so glad I decided to go to the midnight showing. It was just such a really strange experience. I went up to the front of the theater with some person I didn't know and performed Granger Danger from a Harry Potter musical. So that was out of character. I think it was because I had a 5-hour energy before. I was pretty hyper. And the whole theater did trivia for like an hour and a half before the movie started. And I was having way too much fun. Like, at all the really awesome parts, everyone just applauded. They just broke out. They were like... And that was really cool. And like, everyone was laughing, and everyone was crying. There was a lot of crying. On to the book review. So the last book I finished, not including Harry Potter, the last book I finished was The Tin Drum by Günter Grass. And it actually, I didn't like it at first because it took me like forever to get through the book. Because it's just that kind of book that reads really slowly. It's about this midget who likes to drum. And it's just like his whole life growing up experiences all that World War II crap. And yet the book isn't about World War II. When Kristallnacht happened, the only thing he was upset about was that the person who sold him his tin drums was killed. It was just people living their day-to-day lives, you know? Works at this place after the war, where people cut open onions to make themselves cry. People just need to cry together to release the collective guilt. I thought that was really like a powerful image. But I think one of the most interesting things about the book was just the way it was written. Translator's note compared it to Ulysses. It was like photographic detail. Everything felt so real. He tends to have these really long sentences that have like a rhythm to them. They'll be like paragraph-long sentences. And it just really helps to evoke the mood of the sentence. The translator was lucky enough to actually consult with Grass on the translation. Günter Grass is just pretty badass. The first translation kind of simplified the language, the grammar. They broke up sentences to make it more grammatically correct in English. But when the translator was talking to Günter Grass, he said, "I don't follow the rules of German grammar, so don't bother." It's just amazing that a writer can get to that point where they just disregard grammar and it works and you win the freaking Nobel Prize for Literature. And he even made up new words. Zersingen means to sing shatter. The main character of the book can shatter glass with his voice, and it's called sing shattering. Günter Grass has written 2 more books that take place in the same city, and I took out the second book from the library. It's called Cat and Mouse, if you're interested. And it's like, look at that. Look at how small that is. That's 189 pages. The last book was like 600 or 700. Cat and Mouse depends on brevity and compactness. This book is described as brief and compact. Just doing whatever's best suited to the story, which is just so crazy that he's able to write really well in both ways. And I'm like super excited to read this book. Melody, I will see you tomorrow. DFTBA.